Welcome back to A Look at the Book. Our daily devotion for today, I want to talk about living water. I love the story of the young pastor who was preparing to preach his very first wedding. It was one of those big formal occasions, and the nervous preacher didn't want to make a mistake. As he was preparing his wedding sermon, the pastor thought it would be a good idea to open the service with a verse about love. So he searched his concordance and decided on 1 John 4:18. That verse in the Bible says, "Perfect love casts out fear." Finally, the day of the wedding arrived. The bride and groom were standing before the pastor, and it was time to begin the ceremony. The young preacher's knees were knocking, and his hands were trembling as he opened up the Bible. Instead of turning to 1 John 4:18, the novice preacher turned to John 4:18. Without hesitation, he looked at the young bride and said, "You have had 5 husbands, and the man you're living with now is not even your husband." That embarrassed preacher had read the wrong verse. However, when Jesus Christ said that to a Samaritan woman, he was telling the truth. You remember the story. The shamed woman came to the well at the hottest part of the day because she knew she would be alone. But when she arrived at the well, Jesus was there to change her life. Christ told her that the water she was drawing would never completely satisfy her thirst. Then he offered her a drink of living water. That's what John 4:14 says. After the Samaritan woman drank from the well of living water, all of her sins were forgiven, and she was never the same again. Thank God for living water. Be blessed.